Your phone buzzes on the table, face down. You don't move. Notification. Payment received. $6,214. Your paycheck, direct deposited every other Friday, is $2,100. 30 seconds later, your manager taps your desk twice. Hey, heard good things. You're finally becoming management material. You smile. Say thanks. He has no idea. Got 10 minutes later? Wanted to talk about your future here. You already know what this is. The promotion. The one you've wanted for 2 years. In exactly 6 months. You'll have to choose. And one decision will erase everything you've spent 2 years building. What happens when your second income quietly becomes your first life? Level 1. The countdown begins. Rewind 6 months. A promise made alone at your kitchen table. If the side hustle beats the salary 6 months in a row, I quit. You save it as a note in your phone. Nothing dramatic. Just a running tally. Month 1, $120. Month 3, $480. Edited at 1 a.m. Laptop fan screaming. Propped on 2 pillows so it wouldn't overheat. Month 8, $1,200. Client calls on your Saturday. Answering messages from the office bathroom on your lunch break. Month 13, $2,100. The number that used to define your worth every 2 weeks, quietly matched on a random Tuesday. You don't tell anyone. You just sit with it for a minute, alone in your car in the parking lot before your shift. Month 18, $3,600. You buy nothing different. Same car, same lunch. You just breathe a little easier walking into the building. Month 22, $5,400. A Sunday spent packing orders at your kitchen table, box tape stuck to your sleeve, phone propped against a mug so you can keep answering customer messages while you work. 5 months straight. One more, and the promise comes due. You update the note. 5 down, 1 to go. Nobody at work knows. At $300, it was nothing. A rounding error not worth mentioning. At $1,200, a friend noticed the new headphones. You shrugged it off. Just a side thing. At $3,600, your sister started asking real questions. Not the polite kind. You kept most of it to yourself. Some things feel realer if you don't say them out loud yet. Level 2. The boss becomes a different person. Your boss starts being nicer. Lunch invitations. Your name mentioned first in the client deck. Not because you got better at your job, because something in your posture changed, and comfort is the villain that shows up quietest. Golden handcuffs don't look like chains. They look like a corner office, and we'd hate to lose you. In the meeting, he leans forward. Senior strategist, 12% raise. You've earned it. You sit there doing math that has nothing to do with the offer. This is exactly what keeps good people stuck for a decade. You say, "Can I think about it?" He blinks. Nobody's said that to him before. The next morning, a coworker leans over the cubicle wall. "You've been in a weirdly good mood lately." You just smile. "Yeah, good stretch." You don't tell her the truth, that you stopped counting vacation days somewhere around month 15, and the Sunday scaries moved out without leaving a forwarding address. That night, you write one more line in the Notes app, the one that ends up meaning more than any number in this whole story. The paycheck was paying my bills. The side hustle was buying my freedom. Level 3, the collapse and a new clock. Month 24, the 6th month, the one that seals the promise. Your biggest client emails, 3 sentences, no warning, gone. Your income doesn't dip, it drops to 0. Sunday dinner, your dad asks how the online thing is going. You tell him about the client. He puts his fork down. You're throwing away a good career for something that can disappear in one email. It's not a career, Dad. It's a job. Those aren't the same thing. They're the same thing when it pays the bills. The table goes quiet. Your mom just looks at you, scared for you, not of you. You don't have a comeback. For one night, you're not sure he's wrong. Later, in the driveway, your mom catches you before you leave. "He just wants you safe," she says. "That's all it's ever been." "I know," you say. "I just don't think safe means what it used to." She doesn't argue. She just hugs you a second longer than usual. Monday, you do the math you've been avoiding. Savings, 8 months of runway. That's it. You open your laptop, open a blank email, and start typing a reply to your manager. "I'd like to accept the..." You stop. Delete it. Close the laptop. Not yet. A new clock starts. Either the business grows back before month 8, or the note in your phone, 5 down, 1 to go, quietly dies in a drawer somewhere, and you take the promotion instead. Level 4, the promise survives. Week 1, nothing. Week 2, nothing. Week 3, you refresh your inbox out of habit more than hope. Nothing. You start doing math you don't want to do. 8 months doesn't feel like a lot when you're spending week 3 of it staring at an empty inbox. You open that draft email again. I'd like to accept the... Your cursor blinks in the same spot it did a week ago. You still don't send it, but your thumb hovers a little longer this time. Week 4. An email you'd almost stopped waiting for. A stranger. A project bigger than the one you lost. The business breathes again. You open the note. Update it, hand shaking slightly. The countdown didn't die. It just paused. That line matters more to you than the money that day. You open the draft email one more time. I'd like to accept the... You delete it. All the way this time. Not just the words. The draft itself. Level 5. What you would have never done before. Small things change first. You leave at 5. Exactly 5. You stop checking messages after dinner. Someone asks you to cover a weekend shift. The same request you've said yes to 11 times. This time, I can't, sorry. No explanation. You negotiate a deadline instead of just accepting it. You ask questions in meetings you would have silently sat through before. You stop laughing at jokes that aren't funny, just to keep the peace. None of it is dramatic. None of it makes a headline. But it's the first time in years your calendar has started to look like it belongs to you. Your manager asks you to lead a Friday evening client call, the kind you would have taken without a second thought a year ago. I've got something already, you say. You don't say what. You don't owe him the details anymore. He says, no worries, a little too fast, like he's still adjusting to a version of you that has other plans. In the next meeting, you catch yourself smiling at nothing. Halfway through a slide about synergy, you realize you don't need this room. You're just choosing to be in it. For now. Level 6. The twist. Nobody expected. Word gets around that you're thinking about leaving. A coworker corners you by the coffee machine, voice low. I wish I had the courage to do what you're doing. You want to tell her it isn't courage. It's a spreadsheet, and 8 months of runway, and a lot of nights doing math instead of sleeping. You just say, you'd be surprised what you're capable of when you run out of other options. She laughs, but it doesn't quite land as a joke. You can tell she's turning something over in her head that has nothing to do with you. Everyone expects the letter next. You don't write one. You stay. Another full year. Not fear. Discipline. The 8-month clock taught you something the 6-month promise almost hid. One good stretch isn't a runway. It's a running start. You want 12 months saved, then 18. You want to leave from strength, not from a lucky quarter. That year moves differently than the last one. There's no more secret countdown ticking in your notes app. Just steady, unglamorous work. Client calls, invoices, a slow build with no dramatic month to point to. The promotion offer quietly expires. Nobody brings it up again. Someone else takes the title eventually. You find out from a company email and feel almost nothing. You keep showing up at the job on time, doing solid work, because you chose to, not because you have to. That difference stops feeling strange around month 4. By month 10, it just feels like how you live now. Level 7. The leap. The runway's built. 2 paragraphs, typed at your kitchen table before sunrise. You read them back twice. Not because you're unsure, because you want to remember what your own handwriting looks like when it's telling the truth. You open the Notes app one last time, read 5 down, 1 to go for the last time, delete it. You walk the letter in, same hallway you've walked 1,000 times. It feels different today. Shorter, somehow, like the building already knows. He reads it, looks up. Can I ask you something? What is it you're actually doing? The silence sits there a while. You realize this isn't your manager talking anymore. It's just a person wondering, quietly, maybe for the first time in years, whether he could have made a different choice too, a long time ago. You tell him, simply, no pitch. Level 8, ordinary freedom. Day 1 at home, no commute, no Slack, no meeting about the meeting. Just quiet, the kind you're not used to yet. You call your dad that first week. Tell him it's official. He's quiet for a second, then, well, guess we'll see? It's not an apology. It's not quite approval either. It's the most room he's ever given you to be right. The first 2 weeks are harder than you expected. You build a fake schedule just to feel normal. Wake, work block, walk, work block, done. Nobody tells you freedom needs structure too, at least at the start. By week 3, you don't need the fake schedule anymore. The days just start making sense on their own. A few weeks in, Tuesday, 10:37 a.m., you're in the grocery store buying eggs. The store is almost empty. Fluorescent lights hum, but different now. No meeting under them. You realize you've never been here on a weekday before. Not once in your adult life. An older man in line asks what you do, making small talk. You open your mouth. Nothing fits neatly. "I own my time," you finally say. He laughs like it's a joke. You don't correct him. Nobody films this moment for a highlight reel. It's the moment that means the most. Level 9, the circle closes. Your phone buzzes on the table. Same sound as that first morning. Notification. Payment received. No meeting to sit through. No boss watching from across the glass. No permission needed to feel it. 6 months later, you're driving somewhere on a Tuesday morning, half on autopilot. You catch yourself signaling toward the old exit, the one for the office. Muscle memory. You laugh, turn the wheel. It's over. It's been over for a while. Your hands just caught up last. Your dad calls that same week. Doesn't mention the job. Just asks if you want to grab lunch, a Tuesday, whenever works for you. Whenever works for you. He's never said that sentence to you before. Not once, in 30 years of Tuesdays that never belonged to either of you. Most people think freedom begins the day they quit. It doesn't. It begins the day your future no longer depends on one person's decision. You think back to that meeting, the fluorescent lights, the slide about Q3 synergy, a phone, face down, buzzing once, then again. You didn't know it then. But that was the morning the invisible line got crossed, not the day you finally walked out. The paycheck stopped buying your time months before you ever wrote the letter. Your salary rented your time. Your side hustle bought it back.